Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So we're continuing the front page review with the Punch major headline. Alleged 110 billion naira fraud. Bello due in court today as ex-governor reports to EFCC. The ex-Kogi governor was detained by the anti-graft agency and faces 16 counts. PDP NEC pro-Wike governors set for showdown over Damagum. Forex platform. CBN sets $100,000 minimum trade for banks. Port Harcourt refinery, 200 trucks load daily. 150,000 BPD at the LMA plant dormant. Then we have other stories. 4,449 policemen sue IG over delayed promotion. And hunted and executed, suspended Sanwo-Olu's aide. Comments stir probe hall. Unpaid pension, retirees set to occupy finance ministry. And interest rate hike, Labour OPS projects higher inflation and weaker naira. So what are we starting with?
Okay, the police officers, 4,449 police officers have taken legal action against the Nigerian Police Force and the Inspector General of Police at the National Industrial Court in Abuja. And they are asking the court to compel the Nigerian Police Force and the IGP to implement the 19th plenary decision of the Police Service Commission, which approved the promotion of these 4,449 officers. Now, they have the sections that back it. They are relying on Section 6, Sub 1, Paragraph A of the Police Service Act, and Section 16, Sub 3, Paragraphs A of the Police Act itself. And they said it's been tradition, and the Supreme Court have upheld it, that is the Police Service Commission that is responsible for appointment, promotion, and discipline of all police officers except for the IG. And on the other side, the counsel representing the police force and the IG says he declined to talk. He doesn't have any detail, but they're in court. And I really wish that we have clarity once and for all. Since the Supreme Court had decided that it's the Police Service Commission in past litigations, I don't think we should be here. That's where institution fails. Let's allow institutions work. If it is the Police Service Commission and they are promoted, this 4,000, it is motivation for them at work to be promoted. Yeah. So allow the promotions and their details and entitlement given to them. That's how I see it.
All right. What other story are we taking?
So I have the story of the pensions, the retirees. They said the federal pensioners under the contributory pension scheme have written to the coordinating minister, that's Mr. Wale Edun, on the need for government to release the accrued gratuities owed to them since March 2023 to November 2024. As we earlier on, they staged a peaceful rally sometime last month, they said on the 12th of 2024. However, they said the pensions still remained unpaid. And so they are now saying that from 12 p.m. on the 16th of December 20, all CPS retirees nationwide will make the Federal Ministry of Finance and the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation at Abuja their homes until the government is ready to meet their demands. So they said their demand is that, that they should release all the outstanding from March 2023 to November 2024, 15% pension increase in 2007, and also 33% pension increase in 2010. If not, they are all going to go to the front of the office and they're going to be there until their demands are met. So please, federal government should try and disburse this fund so that these things will not happen. Things like that won't happen.
Okay.
I took this story, very political story. They said crisis within PDP. They say it may not end soon as members of the National Executive Council of the party are set for a showdown with a faction led by the former Nyesom Wike over the continued stay in office of their acting national chairman, Umar Damagum. I tried to read it, so it just looks like Umar Damagum is the acting chairman of the PDP. And, you know, he had taken over from the last chairman who was ousted. But what is expected is that he should leave office. But he's being backed by Wike and his cohorts and his political and other governors and some local government chairmen. So it looks like he has such a strong force behind him So that's where the showdown. So they have a faction where they don't think he should still be in office. He should step aside as acting chairman so that the North Central can come up with a permanent chairperson for that space. But they want him to, his own faction want him to continue and, finish the tenure that he had taken over from the ousted PDP chairman. So that is it. As you know, politicians, all sorts of combinations, permutations, fighting and infighting until they finally settle the dust. But they say that this is also showing that Wike has such a stronghold on the party, as he has so many supporters, at this level. Yeah.
At the end of the day, what Nigerians are concerned about is their own personal well-being and how whatever politics is being played impacts on them. The CBN has another regulation. There's a lot of things that happen whenever the MPC meeting takes place. And one of the meetings that came out from, one of the decisions that came out of the meeting with the CBN is that there's a $100,000 minimum trade for interbank transactions. So the interbank transactions usually conduct their dollar-related transactions through the electronic foreign exchange matching system. And they mandated the minimum trade balance of $100,000. This was done on the 25th of November. What that means, the economists and bankers would explain that to us, but they have said that they are retaining the discretion to make any change. So this is a flexible CBN. If they feel the policy is not working, they can make changes tomorrow. If they feel it is working, they said the CBN retains the discretion to introduce other currency pairs when deemed necessary. The guidelines are also, all trade are consummated on this platform. They are binding unless cancelled by mutual agreement of both parties with written approval by the CBN. I like highlighting the CBN story because we're not feeling the impact of whatever policy is being taking place. Sometimes we feel nothing is happening, but there are a lot of things happening, a lot of permutations going on with the aim of getting Nigerians relief. So we're hoping that God will give them more wisdom so that they know what to do to ensure that the impact of the economic policies trickle down to the average Nigerian. Moving on to Daily Sun, major headline. Fuel-laden truck rollout of Port Harcourt refinery. That's like the biggest story, and it's good news. We were expecting this from December last year. I remember that, what's his name? Ajuri mentioned that we're going to have the refinery running by December last year. Mariah said, we'll hold you to your word. And when it didn't happen, we called him out and called out the government. But finally, better late than never, the fuel-laden trucks are already rolling out of the PH refinery. And Ojukwu Memorial, I won't stop pushing for Kano's release, says Bianca. Ex-Governor Yahaya Bello turned self into EFCC over alleged fraud. CBN continues monetary policy tightening, raises interest rates amid inflation, and food prices rose in October from the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. Education gets lion's share as Mba presents 971 billion budget to Enugu State Assembly and crashes recurrent further to 14% in its budget. Oil-producing states kick as they kick against the planned payment swap at Ramfak. They ask court to set aside consent judgment in favor of company registered after another one had executed contract. The final story I'll be taking from The Sun is TUC threatens indefinite strike as states that are not implementing minimum wage. So there's an uneasy calming by Elsa and a rider for that story. What are we taking first in Daily Sun?
Do you have any other?
I have Enugu State.
Oh, yeah.
So the governor of Enugu State, Dr. Peter Mba, has proposed a record 971 billion naira budget bill for the 2025 fiscal year to the Enugu State House of Assembly. They said he's entitled this the budget of exponential growth and inclusive prosperity at the floor of the House. A lot of the figures were mentioned. He had proposed 837.9 billion capital expenditure, representing 86% of the budget estimate, and so on and so forth. But what is really the important part of this story is that a large chunk of the budget has been dedicated to education. They say in terms of specific sectors, education got at 3.2%. This is the largest chunk. And this is in sync with his efforts to eradicate poverty and graduate the state to a knowledge-based economy. They said, of course, there's also a large chunk that's going to infrastructure and roads and a lot of things. So this looks like a governor who has his ears on the ground. He understands the needs of his people and he's meeting them, you know, with their budgets as well. He's been making some policies, and I hear a lot of good news, you know, coming from the state. So, you know, I hope that other governors understand that these are the things that people want, you know. This is, do what people are asking for. I mean, meet the needs of the people. Education is so important, and I'm happy that this governor understands that.
All right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review for today. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the show. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.